Goed vir ontbytprogram beslis. Dit is Expresso en baie dankie dat jy ingeskakel is vanoggend. Nou voor die breek het ek gepraat oor aflaai en die feit dat dit onwettig is in meeste gevalle. South Africa has been known to have a culture of borrowing without asking when it comes to our favorite TV shows. To a point where the country was awarded, yes, 9th place in the total global illegal download space of the Game of Thrones Season 6 premiere. So we love the media, and as they say, sharing is caring, but to what cost and extent? My Broadband's most recent Piracy survey in 2015 revealed that 53% of the respondents have been downloading copyrighted material without the proper license within the past 12 months. And that is 89% of the content being TV shows. So we have Jacques Allert, MD of the South African Federation Against Copyright Theft, SAFACT, on our line today, to just ask what we're doing about it, how they're curbing it, and also what kind of models they are putting in place. First of all, Jacques, welcome to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. This is Expresso.
Morning, Yolanda, and morning to the viewers.
Why does South Africa have such high numbers? Why our numbers? I mean, media piracy?
First of all, there's a tendency to believe that anything that's free, doesn't come without a penalty. Unfortunately, that's not the whole truth. Free is obviously in relation to media or films and music and games for that matter, or the published editions. Free is sometimes also a crime, specifically when the content is copyright protected.
I like how you say free is also a crime. Just quickly, I mean, I know that you guys are doing something about it. SAFACT is helping to curb those alarming numbers, which is good news for most of us, especially if you are some of the people who are creating those movies and putting them out there. What are you doing to curb those numbers? What are you doing to bring those alarming numbers down?
Well, obviously, SAFACT's main interest is to protect the rights of those people that we represent. And unfortunately, it's difficult to say, which is the best tool to fight piracy. And as the world is evolving, we need to evolve our legislation and we need to evolve our mechanisms to fight piracy. We've been lobbying government and also trying to get our copyright law a bit more friendly towards fighting piracy online. We've assisted with the amendments in the Copyright Act and also the new cybercrime and the bill to help us to fight piracy in the long run. In that regard, we also acquired certain technology to assist us to identify and track the perpetrators of the guys spreading the content. But also one has to look at reasons why people are pirating and try to, through awareness, get to those people to understand that piracy is a crime. It's not a victimless crime. There are people that are suffering because of piracy. And hopefully we can get the message through to the guys.
Well, I think just being on the show this morning, you are creating awareness. Now, with a model in place, what would the penalties be for an individual who does this crime? Well,
there's different crimes involved here. Number one, the first one is the copyright law. On the first offense, the Copyright Act, and in the Counterfeit Goods Act, the first, let's call it guilty, would be a 5,000 rand or 3 years imprisonment per infringement. And that doubles, obviously, when it goes to the, if you're a second or a repeat offender, 10 years or 5 years imprisonment.
Sure.
10,000 rand or 5 years imprisonment. However, there are other, let's call it acts or contraventions, when people are using certain devices to acquire illicit content, like some of these IPTV boxes, which utilizes certain software to circumvent any security measures. That in itself becomes a different offense in terms of a different act, the Electronic Communications and Transactions Act. So obviously there's a bunch of, let's call it contraventions and crimes, and each one has got its own penalties.
Well, Mr. Allert, thank you. Thank you so much for just giving us some details about this. And like you said, creating awareness is one of the first steps to make all of us realize that downloading illegally is a crime. We've run out of time. Mr. Allert, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Well, there you heard it. Not all sharing is caring. SAFACT is putting it out there and also making it quite clear that illegal downloading is a crime. This is your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso. It's time for the news.